Today we have the top 5 best and worst Minecraft mobs. Now this is my list, so you are free to have your own, and I'll be ranking them based off of how useful they are and how much I like them. This list is subjective, so please feel free to put your own list in the comments down below. Now without further ado, let's get into it, starting with the worst. At number 5, I'm going to put the Bat. This mob is an absolutely and completely useless mob, but let's be honest, nobody really hates the Bat, me included. It's kind of just there. It's a nice aesthetic in the caves, although I do wish it was more useful. It doesn't even have a drop after all. Imagine if it had a vampire variant that would bite you but only spawned very rarely. That would raise this mob to the next level, but for now it deserves the spot of 5th worst. Now the number 5 best mob I have is the Blaze, because it's an integral part of beating the game. Not only that, but blaze powder is also needed for brewing potions, which can be very beneficial even if you don't plan on beating the game. Aside from its drop, the mob itself is very cool. It's a hovering enemy that shoots fireballs at you from inside of its fortress. If that's not cool, I don't know what is. So I think it deserves the title of 5th best mob. Number 4 on our worst mob list, I have the Zombie Horse. This mob isn't even in survival Minecraft. In fact, I debated whether it was even worthy of being put in the video, but it does have a spawn egg, so it counts. It drops rotten flesh and it does absolutely nothing. And you literally can't even ride it. So it's number 4 on the worst mob list. At number 4 on the best mob list, I have the Enderman. This mob is amazing, regardless of how annoying and scary it can be at times. It can teleport, which is insane, but it also drops an item that allows you to teleport. Not to mention that it's the only mob that spawns in every dimension, and it is essential to beating the game, unless you use piglin or villager traits. But I think it is at its rightful place at number 4 on the best mob list. At number 3 on the worst mob list, I have the Glow Squid. The fact that it beat the Moobloom and Icelager boggles my mind. It doesn't even glow, if you didn't know. It drops glow ink sacs, which can be used to make signs look pretty. That's it. I honestly don't think this mob would be as hated as it is if it hadn't beat out good mobs for the spot, however, so it'll go at number 3. At number 3 on the best mob list, I have the Villager, because although they can be very annoying, this mob is extremely useful. You can trade with it for a plethora of different items, it doesn't want to hurt you, and it introduces a currency system into Minecraft, which can be beneficial to teaching children about money, as well as just being fun overall. Just forget about the slave halls we all set up. Or is that just me? Regardless, the Villager is likely the most useful mob that isn't absolutely essential to beating the game, so it deserves the number 3 spot on the best mob list. At number 2 on the worst mob list, I have the Sniffer. Trust me, I want to put this mob at number 1. This is by far my least favorite mob in Minecraft. The idea of a prehistoric dinosaur that digs up pretty flowers for you isn't that bad, but the idea of a mob that doesn't spawn naturally is a hassle to find and hatch, not to mention breed, and only digs up 2 seeds. Now that is a mob to hate. This should never have been added, period. It doesn't even have a drop. Pathetic. Number 2 is honestly a bit too high for it, but alas, it'll stay there. Number 2 on the best mob list might be a little controversial, but I have the Evoker. Now hear me out before you start commenting about me being an idiot, okay? This mob can use magic and summon both deadly jaws and a whole different mob. And not to mention, it drops an item that makes you literally invincible. Some of you might not like it, but this is an absolutely incredible mob. It deserves the number 2 spot on the best list. Before I go on to the number 1 worst mob, I want to give a few honorable mentions. The Vex isn't on this list because although it's annoying, that's literally its entire purpose. It's a little attack demon. The Wandering Trader is at least useful in super flat worlds, otherwise it would be on this list. And the last honorable mention, the Ocelot, which isn't tameable and lends nothing to the game but jungle aesthetic. Now, the number 1 worst mob in Minecraft is the Phantom. I probably don't need to explain this one, but I'll do it anyway. It drops a Phantom Membrane, which used to be useful for repairing elytras, but after mending and unbreaking, it's useless. It only spawns after 3 nights of not sleeping, which makes no sense because Minecraft is a survival game, and sleeping makes surviving easier. So you get punished for not making it easy to survive? If anything, it should spawn when you do sleep and be immune to fire so it can bother you in the daytime. or it should spawn in caves. And I know, slow falling potions, but honestly that doesn't redeem the Phantom. It is the worst mob in Minecraft. Now, honorable mentions before I get to the best mob. The Wither. It's a great, difficult boss. My problem is both how hard it is to summon and that it doesn't have an amazing drop. Come on, beacons really aren't that good unless you have a lot of them. So no, it doesn't make the list. The Iron Golem, because it is such an important part of the game. It protects you and villagers and is a great source of iron if you make a farm. Sadly, it just wasn't as good as the other mobs on this list. And lastly, the Warden isn't on this list because it doesn't have a good drop and it doesn't really do anything but try to unalive you. Like, I love it, but no. But finally, the number one best mob in Minecraft is obviously the Ender Dragon. I doubt anybody is surprised with this one. It's a dragon. It shoots magic balls at you. It can fly, and most important of all, it's the final boss of the game. I don't think any other mob could possibly be in the number one spot for the best mob in the game, but the Ender Dragon. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, as it does take a lot of time to make these videos and I would appreciate the support. Let me know your own list down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.